extra time.
Mishti Goutam, Bengal's newest taste of sweets.
Well, because there's no rhythm. I think a lot of batsmen, adjust themselves to the rhythm of the bowler, but with Bumrah there's no rhythm. He just walks up, break into a run, and then bum, he's on you. And he has this straight arm. Everything about him is straight arm. There's no bending of his left arm or right arm. Everything is straight. So it's difficult for you to focus. India's bowling has changed, over the last 5-6 years. They're no longer relying on spin. They have some decent fast bowlers, and I think they're utilizing their services. That should have happened 15, 20 years ago, because they should realize that if you want to dominate world cricket, you're not going to dominate world cricket with spin bowling. You might only do it in your own backyard, but once you travel abroad, if you don't have fast bowling, you're not going to dominate. Well, it seems as though that everything around cricket centers on the batsman. Now, why do you have a concussion rule and not a torn muscle rule, or a strained back rule, or a broken finger rule? Why does it have to be concussion? Who is the easiest person to get concussion on a cricket field? It's the batsman. Bowlers hardly get concussion. Unless by some freak accident someone hit back a ball, or he's feeling somewhere and get, Because I think that bowlers should be able to be replaced the same as batsmen. Well, that's what people say. But I never used to bowl 2 balls at the same pace. I used to vary the pace from ball to ball, not just fast and slow. Fast, a little slower, a little faster, so that you don't get accustomed to one pace. If you're bowling 100 miles an hour, and batsmen get accustomed to the 100 miles an hour, it will play it a lot easy. Now, if you bowl 100 miles an hour, and then you bowl 90 miles an hour, and then you bowl 95 miles an hour, and then you bowl 85 miles an hour, the batsman cannot get accustomed to the pace. Then it's more difficult for you to play. I wouldn't use the term soft. I think the batsman, because of all the protection that they have, they do not have a proper technique. They don't develop a proper technique to deal with short pitch bowling. Hence, that is one of the reasons why so many people are being hit today as opposed to yesterday. Batsmen need to develop proper technique. They have equipment, so they turn their back. Whereas in the past, you had to watch the ball, because if you turn the back, you never know. Sunil is in a different class of his own. And as I always say, India had 2 great batsmen in my era, Sunil Gavaskar and Bhunia. They're totally different players. On a bouncier pitch, Vishwanath was the more difficult one, because Vishy is so strong with his wrist. And flick. Whereas Sunil was more of a technical, he was more driving, played the fluent off drive or on drive. It depends. On a flat pitch, I prefer to bowl to Vishy, because he's more aggressive and he will take you on more than Sunil. But in comparison, if I had to compare both, Sunil would get the edge by a wide distance. Sunil was one of them. The other was Ian Chappell of Australia. You know, I'm looking as a fast bowler. Ian Chappell was the more challenging one than Greg Chappell. Greg was more fluent, but Ian was more determined. You see, I only see Kohli from afar. Yeah, but to me, he's one of the top players. Himself and Steve Smith, today are the two top batsmen in world cricket. Yeah, and Virat has changed his cricket to suit the condition he's playing under. Great batsman. Well, his technique is different. He adapts to the condition. I think coming out of India on the slow pitches, he had one technique. Going to Australia, he had to make the adjustment for the more bouncy pitches in Australia. And by all accounts, he's a fellow who works hard. Well, if you and two people develop a friendship, personal friendship, you can transfer that into the game because you're always communicating with each other. And that is what is needed. Communication, even today, we communicate on a regular basis. We talk about cricket, but Michael is not so much into West Indies cricket these days. He's disappointed. I am disappointed, but I love the game. If it wasn't for West Indies cricket, you wouldn't be talking to me. Yeah, so I love it, and it's hurting to see where the cricket is at the moment. Yes, I always love fishing. And when I was bowling, batsmen were fishing.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.